Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the 1998 Mustang GT. The problem is we got a code, we got an emission test next month, and we got a code P1443. What's going on with it is it's kind of idling, kind of funny, and we got a check engine light. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's where we pulled up the code. We got 3 of them in there. They're probably just reacting to each other. We got the check engine light on. Of course, it's not running, but when it is running, it does come on. It goes off periodically, comes back on, and we know it's a emissions problem. So we went on Rock Auto, ordered 2 parts. I think it came up to about maybe 50 something, 55. And I'll show you the parts that we ordered. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we ordered for a 98 Mustang 4.6 V8 single overhead cam. We got a vapor canister purge valve. We had hell looking up the name for that, solenoid, and a vapor canister purge valve solenoid. Haha. But they call them the same thing, valve, solenoid. That's what makes it so crazy to try to figure out which one is which and what goes to what. But those are the numbers right there, 1 1. And looking online trying to figure this problem out was hell, but we got it, and we're gonna put a video just for you. Let me show you the parts. This is the purge valve solenoid right there. I'll show you where it goes shortly, but goes in there, plugs in, and hook the 2 vacuums up to it, and that's it. This is the purge valve, not valve solenoid. That's the solenoid. This is the valve. This one plugs in also. They got 2 what do you call it? I can't think of the name. It has 2 tubes, vacuum tubes that go into each end. Make sure you point it the right direction when you do it. Put it in exactly the way you took the other one off. Now let me show you where they go. All right, here we go. Got the hood popped. This is the 4.6 single overhead cam. And just a side note, for those of you putting a chip in your car and it's idling funny on the 98, of course 98 was a special BS year. You're gonna have to get this box to calibrate your transmission shifts. I got this from American Racing. It's the only way you're gonna be able to do it. You can't do any other route. You gotta buy this little box. I think it was $100 when I got it back in the days, but that was some BS. Only on the 98. I think this year is 94 through 98, 90, something like that. 95 through 98, something, I don't know. But 98 is the only one that you gotta buy this stupid box. Everybody else is a $7 piece. I had to spend $100. That's how it works. All right, so front of the engine, back of the engine by the firewall. This is one of them. That's that valve, purge valve. Of course, if it's a 98 like mine, you might as well replace all of these anyway, because that's a cheap replacement. And they're old anyway. And somewhere it might have a leak. Like this feels kind of funny right there. It's rotted out by all them gas vapors and all that stuff. So we're gonna replace all of that. Replace this, unplug, boom, boom, boom. Then you follow it down. Inside here, you're gonna see this is on the passenger side. You can see that. Maybe okay, you can see it. That's inside this little rubber piece. Easy to miss because it's covered up by rubber. Is the solenoid. I did this a while back, but since we're going brand new, we're gonna replace both of them. This is the solenoid, of course. You see, they got the hose there, hose on the other side. Solenoid's inside of this rubber and plugged in at the bottom. So easy change. and that should fix that 1443, because it's a common problem from what I read. People don't really show how to do it, where to look, all that stuff. But I heard this is a common problem. Those two things right there. So that one I think is like maybe 12 bucks, something like that. And this one was the expensive one. They made everything come up to about 50 something. So that's some people call this a canister. So that'll throw you off too. So it might be called a purge valve canister. And when you think of canister, you think of something real big because it's emissions. Might be that big charcoal canister. No, this little thing is called a canister also. Solenoid and a canister valve. That's what's throwing me off. So we're gonna change that, unplug it, put the new one in, and roll out and see what happens. Alright, just coming back for a second. This is the original. We got the Ford logo number. I don't know if you see that. It doesn't even matter really. But if you look at this, see, the left side is down a little bit on the plastic top. The right side is up. So the right, taller, whatever you want to call it, right side points into the engine bay. This one points to the hose that goes into the fender. So this goes to the hose into the fender. This goes to the hose into the engine bay. That's how you can tell. So you don't end up doing it like that. I don't know if that makes a difference, but we always put things back the way we found it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in action with that part. We got to replace that part. This is pretty much brand new, a couple months old. So, all right, we placed the canister, solenoid, whatever you want to call it, plugged it back in. Everything's cool. Put the sleeve back on it. This is the old one, nice and 20-something years old. Like they say, common failure item. It's a common failure item. You gotta replace those hoses. But for all your P1443, that's what you gotta do. You gotta replace all these hoses. Replace this. This is like $12 or something. Rock Auto. Might be cheaper than that. Replace all this hose down to this thing. Where's it at? Down to this thing. Replace that. Place the hose into the fender. That goes to the charcoal canister. You might have to take the wheel off. You do have to take the wheel off, and the little skirt on the inside, but easy, just a little time. Give yourself about an hour to do it all. If you got an old Mustang like this, you might want to just do it anyway and document when you did it. Do things right, ladies and gentlemen. But you know the rest. P1443 1998 Mustang GT 4.6 single overhead cam. We're gonna post this so people can find it, so you don't have to go through the BS of looking for answers and piecing together puzzles of vague answers like everybody was doing. All right, have a good one.